The International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, ICRD, is a United Nations convention, a third-generation human rights instrument. The convention commits its members to the elimination of racial discrimination and the promotion of understanding among all races. The convention also requires its parties to outlaw hate speech and criminalize membership in racist organizations. The convention also includes an individual complaints mechanism, effectively making it enforceable against its parties. This has led to the development of a limited jurisprudence on the interpretation and implementation of the convention. The convention was adopted and opened for signature by the United Nations General Assembly on 21 December 1965 and entered into force on 4 January 1969. As of January 2018, it has 88 signatories and 179 parties. The convention is monitored by the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, CERD. Article 1 of the convention defines racial discrimination as any distinction, exclusion, restriction, or preference based on race, color, descent, or national or ethnic origin, which has the purpose or effect of nullifying or impairing the recognition, enjoyment, or exercise on an equal footing of human rights and fundamental freedoms in the political, economic, social, cultural, or any other field of the public life. Distinctions made on the basis of citizenship, that is, between citizens and non-citizens, are specifically excluded from the definition, as are positive discrimination policies and other measures taken to redress imbalances and promote equality. Article 2 of the Convention condemns racial discrimination and obliges parties to undertake to pursue by all appropriate means and without delay a policy of eliminating racial discrimination in all its forms. It also obliges parties to promote understanding among all races. Article 3 condemns apartheid and racial segregation and obliges parties to prevent, prohibit, and eradicate these practices in territories under their jurisdiction. Article 4 of the Convention condemns propaganda and organizations that attempt to justify discrimination or are based on the idea of racial supremacism. It obliges parties, with due regard to principles embodied in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, to adopt immediate and positive measures to eradicate these forms of incitement and discrimination. Article 5 expands upon the general obligation of Article 2 and creates a specific obligation to guarantee the right of everyone to equality before the law regardless of race, color, or national or ethnic origin. It further lists specific rights. This equality must apply to equal treatment by courts and tribunals, security of the person and freedom from violence, the civil and political rights affirmed in the ICCPR, the economic, social, and cultural rights affirmed in the ICSCR, and the right to access to any place or service used by the general public, such as transport, hotels, restaurants, cafes, theaters, and parks. This list is not exhaustive and the obligation extends to all human rights. Article 6 obliges parties to provide effective protection and remedies through the courts or other institutions for any act of racial discrimination. This includes the right to legal remedy and damages for injuries suffered due to discrimination. Article 7 obliges parties to adopt immediate and effective measures, particularly in education, to combat racial prejudice and encourage understanding and tolerance between different racial, ethnic, and national groups. Article 11 through 13 of the Convention establish a dispute resolution mechanism between parties. A party that believes another party is not implementing the Convention may complain to the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Article 14 of the Convention establishes an individual complaints mechanism similar to that of the first optional protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Optional protocol to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and optional protocol to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women. Parties may at any time recognize the competence of the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination to consider complaints from individuals or groups who claim their rights under the Convention have been violated.